Why would you?
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever the case may be. This is Memory Lane, Art, Trash, and Treasure. It's not like it's a show or anything. I'm Mike Miller. I'm really irritated at flipping YouTube right now because no announcements, no notifications are going out. I set this up early. Hold on, I need to copy this. I set this up early so that you know the video, you know, the waiting for video could be up and ready to go. Going live right now. YouTube is not notifying. Talking about some art treasures and trash I found in storage. Yeah, if everybody, all two of you, unbelievable. YouTube, what the heck are you doing? I'm so irritated by this. Has been happening the last 2 days in a row. No one's been getting any notifications. Well, maybe a handful of people. And I'm like, I'll start off. Yeah, so I had that. I put the notification out. This has been set and running for a half an hour, and it should have posted up on my website or on the YouTube front page saying, oh, hey, look, Mike's got a video starting at 5 o'clock. And nothing. There's 3 viewers in here. I'm sorry. I'm so glad the 3 of you who are in here. God bless you all. Andre, Giuseppe. All my European friends, apparently. All 3 of my European fans are here. And nobody else is. Could you guys just tweet these out? Share it out, because YouTube is blocking it for some reason I can't understand. No one is getting their notifications. Come join with me live as I talk about some treasures I found in storage. I'm posting that to Facebook as well. So, what is somebody saying here? Only when Mike uses Ben Shapiro's name in a title of his cross-examinations video I haven't gotten notifications from his channel. Coincidence, perhaps? I don't know, because how many of you guys have gotten notifications for this stream? There's 7 people in here watching now. Did you guys get notifications, or are you coming here because I posted links on Twitter? No notifications. Saw this on Twitter. Oh my gosh. It's like they're doing it on purpose. I wonder if this is happening across the board in Twitter or on YouTube, or if it is being targeted. You didn't either, Crash Landon? Oh my gosh. Yo, Scott, did you get a notification, or did you see this on Facebook? First and not last for once, Giuseppe said. It's about time. You are first, Giuseppe. Giuseppe, my friend.
I didn't get a notification.
You didn't? Are you on there?
Yeah.
Yeah, my son's not getting them. Did it come up as a notification? Hey, make sure your notifications are on. I don't know what on earth. No notification, no notification, no notification. Saw it on my Facebook feed. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Came from a Twitter. Yeah, so as you come in, please tweet this out, Facebook this out, Tumblr this out, whatever it is. YouTube is stifling me. I don't. It is kind of since I started posting all the Ben Shapiro stuff. Maybe they are tagging me as a channel they don't want to promote, because They hate Ben Shapiro. Please check your notifications down if you've got the bell. I'm paranoid, dude. Lama Gigante, no one is getting notifications. No, but did you get your notification? Almost never get notifications for anything. I do. I get notifications, just not for me, apparently. Just check YouTube randomly. What is a Twitter thing? Autocorrect. Came from a Twitter. What is a Twitter? Came from a tweet. You did? Yeah, came from a tweet. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to sit here and just complain about stuff because I really do want to get to some of this trash and treasure that I found. So I'm going to go through this. Look at this. The Art of Mike Miller, 1985 to 1987. And then I found another one. This one's more like 1995 to 1997 or so, roughly. Just some old sketchbooks I found in storage that were surrounded by other stuff, was all moldy and stuff. And then I found some artwork. And those two pieces I did post on Twitter, I will be sharing these as we go. I'm going to do this kind of chronologically. Dragon, did you get a notification? More people are in here. 15 people are in here now. If you could tweet this out, let people know, because there's no notifications. YouTube hates me. YouTube hates me. Or maybe they just hate Ben Shapiro, and they hate that Ben Shapiro loves me. This is going to be good, says the Giuseppe. Says the Giuseppe. It's good. It's good. Just got a notification for Antonio's stream. Still not for you. So, for those who did not see, I just posted up two pieces of artwork, a Stormwatch and a Wildcats piece, to my Twitter. And as I said, I will get to what those are about. Nobody's ever seen these. They've never been published. I don't think I've even seen these copies like since the internet was a thing. They're old. I don't know if you can tell. You probably can't read it, but the Wildcats piece is from July. It says on the little signature portion, 7/91. I was 19 years old when I drew that. And then the Stormwatch piece was from 93. I must have been 21 because it was 93. It was just after WonderCon. So see, 93, I would have turned 20. Let's see, 91, I turned 20. 93, I would have. So I was 21 when I did that one. But that is for later on. I am going to do this, like I said, chronologically. I didn't get notification. Nobody did. YouTube hates me. All right. Where are we now? We are at 20 whole viewers. 20. Well, I suppose I can start for you fine folks anyways. I'd rather start with like 50 viewers, but YouTube. Ben Shapiro adores you. Thank you, Amy Langston. Dragon says, I turn off notifications on everything and I rely on subscription feed. Subscription feed. I don't know what that means. That's what happens when you boast of Shapiro connections too much, I guess. No notifications for Trevor either. Malin and other streams got around the problem by scheduling first. I scheduled this a half an hour in advance so that because prior to today, every time I did that, the video would pop up and say, you know, we'll be starting at, and it gives the appropriate time. That didn't even show up on my YouTube channel. I don't know what's going on. Honestly, I don't. You shouldn't have said anything about his beard, though. It might have been overkill. Number 17 has arrived. Yeah, we're at 26 now. 26. All you new folks, YouTube is not sending out notifications. You'll notice that not a single person in here yet has said they got a notification. If you could post to Twitter, hit the share button, post it to Twitter, post it to Facebook, post it to wherever you want to, then please do, and hit the like button. I think the shares are better for the overall algorithm or whatever it is. Comic Book Bob, yeah, I know. So if you could please share it, like it and share it, and then please double check your notifications. I can't understand. Am I being paranoid? Is it possible that I'm being paranoid? Just not getting notifications? Saw on Twitter, no notification, no notification. Trying to schedule streams ahead. Again, I thought I did. I thought that's how it worked. I've got to get on this fandangled Twitter thing so I can watch Mike and troll dem politicians. On YouTube, Dragon says, on YouTube, the home page's top bar is home trending subscriptions. The subscriptions button is the subs feed. Hasn't had problems with the notifications. Problems have had till now. Shadow banned. That's what they call it, huh, Andrew? Shadow ban. They don't tell anybody that you're live. So you have to go out there and you have to go out there and gather your troops through Twitter and Facebook or whatever. James says, no, it's YouTube. They really are out to get conservatives, Christians, and those that love the USA. Michael Vernasti says, I get notifications for people liking my comments, but nothing for a live stream. I've noticed this since Wednesday. It's crazy. It's crazy. Retro Graphics is here for the Stormwatch and Wildcats versus Cyberforce drawings. Twitter sent me here, not notifications. No, I am not demonetized. I'm kind of feeling like I'm shadow banned, which is super, super frustrating. Honestly, the only thing I can think of is that I've been pushing the Ben Shapiro thing so hard. They must hate Ben. I only saw you because I went to my subscriptions, the video set live. Huh. They were making adjustments. I noticed where they are separating uploaded videos and live streams, and quite a few subs weren't showing up. Felix also was not notified. Maybe got flagged for using Shapiro in your YouTube titles. Ben said I could. So, all right, 31 viewers. That's enough to get going. I don't want to complain about this the whole time. Anybody here who's new, please, we're not sending out, or YouTube's not sending out notifications, so please do tweet this out. Please do Facebook this out, however you want to do it. I am going to, here, let me turn off the camera so I can reset the camera without it looking like I'm making a big old gaggly mess here. All right. Now I shall return the camera to the on position and pray for focus. All right. So I was out. Okay, so I bought my wife a new TV today. I get it home, and the stands, it's just like this much too big to fit on my dresser. So I was outside looking for a board that I could you know, put on top of the dresser so that I could put the thing on top of the board so that we can actually put the TV on top of the dresser. Anyways, I was outside in the freaking horrible storage unit that my brother made me, where he failed to put doors on, but he and my nephew shoved a whole bunch of crap on the storage unit. It got all rained on, got destroyed. And I'm like looking through one of the broken boxes, and I'm like, what the heck? What is this doing in there? What is this doing in there? My sketchbook from middle school into high school. 1985 was I was in middle school. It's a year I graduated middle school, 1985. And so I was like, I'm going to show some people. I found some other stuff too. There's a lot of stuff here. I hope this doesn't take all night long to go through. But I'll give you a little sneak peek at some of the treasure I found. Treasure. Not going to show it. Not going to show the whole thing. I was so stoked that that survived. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The awesome text art of the 80s. You were in first grade. All right. So this was me in middle school copying John Byrne with a .0, probably a .001 or .003 rapidograph, because that's what we used back then. Yeah. See, this book belonged to Mike Miller. This was before I was Mike S. Miller. Howard the Duck, and that's how I started my sketchbook. And then here we go. I drew an Uzi. What's wrong with this picture? Someone tell me what's wrong with this picture. First person to notice what's wrong with this picture wins a no prize. The coveted no prize. Uzi. Yes, it's an Uzi. Again, illustrated with a rapidograph. Trigger. Yes, his finger is on the trigger. 6 fingers! Crash Landon sees it. All right. So funny. Actually, I drew in blue line, I drew Raj 2000 behind here. You can barely make it out. All right. This 1985. Jennifer Miles, 1985. This was a girl in middle school I thought was just very, very beautiful. Actually, I'll talk about her later. She's got a GoFundMe right now because she went through a botched, I think it was a botched stomach surgery, and so she's emaciated down to like 85 pounds. It's so sad. But there's another picture of her at the end of this book after 2 years of me drawing, so you can see how I progressed over those 2 years. Oh, crush. That was the Lamborghini. This was, I don't know why I drew these little worms on everything. I don't remember that. This was 1986. So obviously this was, let's see, if this was 1985, 85 into 86. So maybe this was when I was going into high school. It must have been when I was going into high school because I graduated in 85, and then it just jumps to 86 right away. So yeah, I was probably freshman year in high school. This is a terrible drawing. Robots. I used to draw the little things and how they would transform, right? Like stage by stage transformation. My dad was an engineer, so I got into all that stuff. I used to pause and play Transformers stuff frame by frame on the VHS. The VHS sticker. All right, and I was into Robotech and all that fun stuff too. So look, it's a robot transforming into a giant hand. That's, I don't know. You can draw mecha. Well, look, it's Black 501 Jeans. M86. I should just stuck with the M. So much easier to sign things. John Lennon. Our good friend Nasser might appreciate that one. 1986. More mechas. Yeah, the arms transform into their own individual mechs, and then they're just like, the 5 mechs of whatever it is. Me too. I used to do Robotech-esque transformation, right? Yeah, and then there's the merging together of the various mechs. Another John Lennon from another era. In 1986, at this point, if this was the beginning of 1986, I would be 15 years old. Right? 86, 71, 51. Yeah. No, I would have turned 15 this year, so I was 14 at this point. 14. Everything in this book so far was when I was 14 years old. I have to get to the end of 86 before I turn 15. So, Raj 2000, again with the freaking worm. I don't remember why I put the worm and everything. The evolution of John Lennon. My Casio flat watch. A ring I had. Marilyn Monroe. Couldn't get the face right, so I never finished it. A spacecraft, probably inspired by the Robotech Invid Wars stuff. Robot interiors. Moonlighting, everyone's favorite. Some walk by night, babe, some fly by day. 41 viewers here now. If you're new, you probably did not get notifications. You probably saw this on Twitter, on Facebook, because apparently I'm being shadow banned, or at least it seems that way. Could you please, if you're new, shout this out via Twitter. Hit that share button. Share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, share it wherever you know people are watching. I would appreciate that very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, this is sort of a Terminator dude. Robot on the inside, flesh on the outside. Not great anatomy, but I was 14, so cut me some slack. Sharpies and whiteout, doing the Hollywood. So dumb. My MC Escher phase. Snake in the grass. Was that how I used to hold a pencil? No, I don't think I hold pencils like that anymore. But no, I hold like this now. So I get the groove in this. Oh, no, wait. No, yeah, that's right. I hold like this now. I guess I used to hold a pencil differently. How strange. It's cute. Reminds me of when I started drawing. Just my drawings were awful at 14. Yeah, Bruce Willis on network TV. Moonlighting was the best show. I loved it. All right. More MC Escher studies. Studies of how MC Escher thought. Yes, these are things young Mike was doing at 14 years old, and then designing his own Escher-esque drawings. Still 86, but now I've moved from M to Miller. Miller 86, the progress of my signature. And then just a really terrible cyborg with a tear falling down his face because he envies the living creature, the mouse, because he's not real, he's not living, but the mouse is alive. This insignificant little rodent makes the big robot cry. So touching. Oh, and then I did a weird little MSM. Bam, 86, right there. Oh, you can see it better. Look at that signature. Cool. I should stick with that one. I should do that one again. That's great. That's deep, Mike. Another Lamborghini. I was a fan of the Lambo. Skaka, that was my tag name. Me and some friends would do some stupid tagging. More Robotech. And the old MSM starts to make itself known as 14-year-old Mike progresses as an artist. Oh, that's actually not bad. Look at that. 14 years old. That's not bad for a 14-year-old, right? Huh? Huh?
Way better than Elijah.
You see this?
Yeah. 14.
14. Dope.
Is that some pencil or?
Yeah, it's pencil. 3, 12, 39, 12. I don't know what that means. But studies of different facial expressions. Yeah, I'm not sure why I drew that misshapen thing, but he says, oh, and he's got a terrific personality. How many of my kids draw? Isaac, do you qualify as being a drawer?
I like drawing monsters like a lot.
He likes drawing
I
monsters.
don't like drawing people much. I'll draw them if they're like they have gas masks.
Oh no, somebody just said this was Ethan. Oh, 2 people did. You guys are wrong. That's messed up. Ethan's going to get mad at you.
What?
I said this was Ethan. So bad. So bad. Locker combo. Oh, yeah, maybe it was a locker combo.
That's oldie.
Oh, I think it was a locker combo. Now that you remind me. Is that a toe thumb? Oh my gosh, you're right. It is Ethan. It's got the toe thumb. Oh no. It's the prognostication. Terrible. There's a ska chick from what band was this? The Beat? Oh, maybe the Beat. Maybe the Beat. Oh, there's another progress. More progress on my weird little signature. I wish this thing would focus better. Focus. No, focus. Bad focus. The left hand is the map of Italy. Show it to Ethan and see if he makes the connection. Rock and roll. Oh, this is sad. Look at that. You know what they say. This way for attention. This way for... okay. Weird mech with a hand for a butt so he can grab things. Yeah, I don't get it either. Oh, yeah, there's another. More suicide stuff. I wasn't actually suicidal. It was a cry for help. My parents were getting divorced at the time, so I was probably looking for attention. Here's a weird take on Cyclops' helmet. A cut through of a spaceship I was designing. Don't know why. More cries for help. The stream isn't showing up at my sub feed. I only found out that because I thought to check after I saw a post from Mike on Twitter. No one has gotten their notifications. No one got their notifications. Battlestar Galactica. What does this say? It says something here. Hard for me to see. 10631. No, I don't know what that. It wasn't Battlestar. Oh, look, this is the size. So you see the front of it here? So, right? And then it goes down here. And then it goes down here. Right? And then it goes down here. Then it goes. That's how big a guy is. So you have to zoom in. Zoom, 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 zoom. That's how. This thing's massive. It's like the Galactica. Except bigger. My beautiful wife and children can wipe my tears away. Making my own font. Shatter font. Mountain font. Ah, the old Grim Reaper. Look, spotting blacks. Wah, wah. Death, Mike Miller, April 10th, 1986. So yeah, still 14. Still 14, right? Is that 14 or 15? I would turn 15 this year. So no, 14. Still 14. Freddy Krueger. Still better than the one I did on Drawn and Quartered. Jinko wearing Mike in the 90s was edgy. Freddy Krueger, April 10th, 1986. Oh, okay. All right. This was... I had gotten expelled from my high school, and I was at another high school, Cupertino High School, and there was this guy named George there, and I couldn't stand him. Here's another attempt at a MSM. Boy, it just doesn't focus when I lift the book up. Another Freddy Krueger. Meh. A weird monster with wings. Fun stuff. fun stuff.
Weirdo.
Look, the pain of love. Oh, who was I into then? Maureen McTeague. But I wasn't in love with her. I just liked her. No, there was another girl at that school I liked. Who was it? I can't remember her name. Jenny something? I'm trying to think back to my freshman year in high school. It's not important. This is me sort of turning Opus from Bloom County into a deranged killer. Except for like a human deranged killer. More Pain of Love. A doodle page. Sort of Conan. Conan. Oh, look. The arm's back. This is a left hand. Club X. That was a club we used to go to. More Pain of Love crap. The old Coke versus Pepsi mech. You remember that commercial? There was like a one-time commercial they put out with Coke and Pepsi machines turning into robots and fighting. I think it was like a Super Bowl commercial. More Freddy Krueger. Jeez, what was I, obsessed with Freddy Krueger or something? Rick Kennard and Peter Platypus. I was going to make my own cartoon. This is 6/2/86, so Mickey Moth, Minnie Moth, Roger Dorfman, Skinhead. This was, I was entering into the punk scene at the time. There's Peter Platypus again. I think is it Peter Platypus? Yeah, Peter Platypus. What is a platypus? It's got the tail of a beaver, feet of a pelican, hair of a dog, and the bill of a duck. Flap, 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 can't fly. Skateboard designs. Elric didn't get notified. Elric, nobody got notifications. Look, we're almost up to 50 viewers. 48. Oh, look. Day after day, alone on a hill, a man with a foolish grin is keeping perfectly still. Nobody wants to know him because he is just a fool. This is Nasser. I prognosticated Nasser here too. Junk robot, buckets, hair dryers, bottles, blenders. Weird random stuff. Okay. Freddy versus Jason. Not great. Wouldn't NASA just be a blank page? What the heck is this? Weird. Punk rocker. MST. MST. This is when I started wanting to change my name to Takahashi because my dad was leaving my mother, and so I didn't want. You guys are getting an insight into my soul. I didn't want to be a Miller anymore, so I started signing MST. Michael Sanji Takahashi. I wanted to change my name. Peace, love, peace, love. Robo board. Yeah. Captain Marvel. Skull and Flames. This was, what the heck was that? Some weird automatic shotgun thing. It's funny that they actually made an automatic shotgun now, the A12.
It's like,
yeah. This was like a pyro dude with a weird helmet. Oh, this is just a optical. YouTube is real bad tonight. You and some other guys live stream didn't show up on my YouTube page. Yeah, it's been like that for 2 days. So here's a look. I signed it Takahashi. A nuke. It's a nuke. She's crying because she's watching a nuke. Which, if she sees it this close, that means she's freaking dead. But anyways, life is beautiful. Life is a oops, bad word. Love is beautiful. Love sucks. Gosh, what an emo little twerp I was in freshman year. No, but you know that's the thing you go through when your parents are divorcing. It's like you start kind of it messes you up. It messes you up. Oh, I think this was Drukus, my friend. That's Brian. My friend Brian. He's so fat. I had him going through a skateboard and or going through a ramp and breaking it. No fat skaters. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Did you draw these in the dark while listening to The Cure? No, I always hated The Cure. I always hated The Cure. That wasn't my thing. I was like TSOL or who are my other favorite punk bands? Dead Kennedys. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a total blank. Minor Threat. Frontline. Sex Pistols. You know, suicidal tendencies. A suicidal failure. I gotta have some help. I've got suicidal tendencies, but I can't kill myself. Space car. I was always so bad at drawing cars. And then I turned into a hippie because of John Lennon. Dadgummit.
Yeah.
Mr. Mod. Michael S. Miller. I guess at that point I was over the Takahashi thing. Mr. Jock. Piece for the nothing. Skating. 87. All right. So we've moved years. I am now officially 15 years old. Or 16. I don't know. 15. I see Mike drawing these in the dark, listening to Type O negative. Toxic waste. And I don't remember who I was hanging there. I think it might have been like a teacher. White Wolf! Oh my gosh, this is one of my earliest characters. White Wolf. I had a logo for him and everything. These are weird little alien-esque flying creatures that attack and kill people. Nice design. Dunno. More skating. That's actually a decent pose. Polar. Another old character of mine who I have since forgot about. More Freddy Krueger. Apparently, I couldn't get enough of Freddy Krueger. This is a horrible, horrible pose. Oh, Agent Orange. Yeah, I used to listen to Agent Orange too. Wow, that is just bad on so many levels. I can't even excuse this from a 15-year-old me. That is just the worst thing ever. If you land your trick with your wheels behind the coping, then you will be eating masonite quickly. And there was my cat Jojo doing a hand plant with a top cat on his board. You see that? Top cat? Oh no, it's too blurry. That was my first cat, Jojo. He was red. And there it is, Jenny Miles again, 3/21/87. So I was 15. No, I would have turned 16. Yeah, 15 at this point. So from, where was it? You can see the progression from 14 to 15. Come on, where's my Jenny Miles? From 14 to 15. I got a little better. Right? Huh? I got a little better. 14, 15. Bang. I should do another one today. Did Jenny inspire you to have long flowing hair? No, I saw some dude getting out of a Jeep one time, and he jumped out of the Jeep and he had a long he must have been a Native American, and I was like, that hair's rad. So it was like that moment I was like, I'm growing my hair out. King something or other. Me practicing my signature. TSOL sticker. And that's it for 85 to 87. We have to jump far, far ahead to, I think this is like 95, 97, if I have my timeline correct. 95. So I was already a professional artist for 3 years, believe it or not. This is Aztec. Remember I had told you guys that I was the original artist on Mark Miller's Aztec book, Mark Miller and Grant Morrison? And that I had actually redesigned it, because I think the Aztec that exists, that actually came out, was, the initial design was by Grant Morrison, and then the artist kind of like tweaked it. I took that initial design and I threw it in the trash, and I completely redesigned him to look more like real Aztec sort of imagery combined with like Exo Man of War, right? And so I did this, and I was coming up with ideas and stuff, and this is some other stuff. These are old. These numbers aren't real anymore, so don't worry about. I'm not doxing anybody. Nobody lives in the same place they did 20-something years ago. Especially David. He used to live in California. So this was the Aztec design I had going. Obviously, I was a Joe Mad fan at the time, so I was getting influenced by him. Aztec was on the Justice League cartoon. Yeah. Well, they took so long to get me the script that I bailed on the book. So, and this, 1995, this is when I first created the Iron Cross. 1995. The Iron Cross is a character involved with Lone Star's backstory. So you'll learn about him in issue 2 of Lone Star. Dog, something. Just crappy sketches. A lot of times I would just do sort of layouts and stuff. This was actually, I think I might have used this Colossus in a published piece. Oh yeah, here's the layout. So someone actually just posted this piece from Excalibur recently on Twitter, but here's the original layout for it. He created Iron Cross. What the devil, Miller? We lost some great men to him. Sorry, Lone Star. This is a muscle study. Pectoralis minor connects to the scapula, cannot be seen on surface. Clavicle head sometimes forms a visual muscle. This was idea stuff for Immortal 2. Immortal 2. This was, what was this for? I think this might have been a Wetworks pinup I was designing. More stuff for Immortal 2 designs and concepts, stuff that never made it to anything. Yeah, this is just early rough designs. Nobody. This character, okay, his outfit is all black. You will see this character in almost every crowd scene I have drawn since, like, the early 90s. You should show this muscle study to Malin. I know, right? Okay, hey guys, if you're here now, it's probably because you saw it on Twitter or Facebook, because I'm getting shadow banned. I really think that's the case. Could you guys also send out links to Twitter, to Facebook, to whatever, and let's let some people know that we're in here, if you would kindly. And so this is closer to the final design on Gabriel de Charlemagne from Immortal 2. There's another one over here. I was getting closer to what I finally wanted. And then here's the character designs. I got rid of the chainmail hood thing. First Order, these were going to be bad guys. Gosh, I might use them anyways. I might go back through some of this stuff. Substance, that's back. Oh, Substance. I was trying to put together a comic book company back then. Actually, this is Ben Herrera drew in my sketchbook. These are cool, huh? I did this when he did these. Yeah, just sort of a weird, clunky looking mech. They can't all be winners. Ideas. Oh, no, that was a... Oh. Ah! My idea for... This was my original idea for Savage Dragon. For Savage Dragon Red Horizon, when I took Super Patriot and I made him a weapon for Dragon to use. That was my original drawing for that. Ugh, terrible design for X-Men. Design for Okami Red. Tribal. Solomon. Other characters. Other ideas for characters. More Immortal 2 stuff. I don't even remember what this little storyboard was for. More Immortal 2 concept work. Because I wanted to change her outfit for the following series. So I think this is where I was going to land. I don't remember. It's been a while. Been a while. More Immortal 2 design work. Savage Dragon. I was working on Savage Dragon at the time. The Red Horizon stuff. So it's a drawing of my wife. Cover concepts. More cover concepts. More cover concepts. Actually, Neil Lamb, I think, drew this cover concept. And that might have been the one I eventually went with. Oh no. I went with, where did I go with? Something more like that. Oh, I think yeah, this was mine. And then he's like, well, no, you should make it more like this. So I went more with mine. I thought Savage Dragon was that sexually deviant reptile. Didn't he wind up on an offender registry? Yeah, he should. Thank you, Lone Star Hero. Edwin Boyett, aloha. Would you like a link to come in, Edwin? And the concept again for Savage Dragon, Red Horizon. My wife actually drew these. This is her dad. Let me tell you about this great idea. Okay, my wife had taken over my Groucho. I still love this character. I based him off my cat. He's for my story. Which story was that? Pangaea. Yeah. Oh, I still dig him. I miss that cat. It was a good cat. Max is pretty cool though. Max actually reminds me of Groucho. And then Phyllis, another character from the same book. I don't remember what Donger is from, but I know who he's based on. He's based on my friend Twan. Logo design concepts for Tango. Weird alien thing. Over-juiced dude with really baggy pants. Yeah. Monkey face. Hero! So this was a character design I had for a character called Hero. Actually, Neil Lamb did this. But there's already two heroes in Lone Star. So if I do use this character, I actually turned him into a girl. I changed the origin so that it was a girl. But I still kind of dig his whole story. So I might bring him in and use him for something. These are Ben Herrera sketches, actually. Actually, man, everybody draws in my book. This was Ben Herrera, Nia Lamb, Nia, Ben, probably Ben. This is me, I can tell. Ben. And another version of Hero. I'll pop in shortly, says Edwin Boyett. A Close Embrace Tango drawing. More Hero stuff. More possible Hero stuff and Demon Bad Guy, I think, and a girl. Oh, I think this was more possible first order stuff. If I remember correctly. Here, you want to see some of this? Some of this stuff. Her. Demons get bad rep. Ah, yes, this is Pangaea stuff. The doctors from Pangaea. Gosh, I don't know if I want to talk about it. The doctors are ancient guys who the older they get, the more they rely on technology to keep them alive. So they end up like just being these little shriveled up people inside of these giant mechs so they can continue to work. Geneticists, techies, biologists, etc. Basically a cabal of mad scientists. Yeah, oh my gosh. I forgot how freaking random Pangaea was. So great. Yep, we've got weird doctor dudes, we've got cat people, we've got samurais and Greek goddesses and weird mime police. It's such a bizarre idea. Maybe I should do it. And then this was one of the sons of the doctors who was rebelling against all the stuff that his forebears were doing. That looks really cool. I'm telling you, man, I got so much stuff in my head. And this was a cool mech. You could tell there's like a little kid driving it, like a little kid. Fun stuff. And then, yeah, the main guy was a guy named Salman Aga. Based off my friend's name is Salman Aga, so I just kind of took his name. His daughter is kidnapped into the world of Pangaea, and he follows them through, sort of the Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe type of thing, but so much more nefarious and a lot of fun. So, anyways, statue. I think this was going to be sort of a redesign on Gabrielle de Charlemagne, but I can't really remember. I can't entirely remember. More, and I think that might be. Oh no. Also, later on, original design for the mechs at the end of G.I. Joe versus Transformers. Salman Aga? He was a skateboarder from San Jose when I was a kid. Yeah, retro. Salman and I used to skate together. I knew him when he was just a little fat kid, and then yeah, I've got pictures of Salman when he was fat and had hair. So no, we were little kids, man, teenagers. Skating together. We had a ramp in our backyard. Steve Caballero would skate there. Corey O'Brien, Mike Brasenko, dude, freaking Jason Adams. So from our crew who went pro like after, you know, Jason Adams, Solomon Aga, what's Dagum? I'm forgetting his name. He's a pastor now. I think we had 3 or 4 guys from our crew go pro. Solomon was Skater of the Year back in 96, 97, something like that. Ray Barbie came to my house. Who else was it? Oh my gosh, I'm totally drawing a blank. Anyways, you know what else I found in my stash? Something I thought I had lost, and I'm so glad it was in a bag so it didn't get completely damaged. The one page I've ever paid for. I've only ever paid for 1 page of original art, and it's from Avengers Forever. Avengers Forever. Carlos Pacheco, Jesus Moreno. Check this beautiful thing out. Oh, so stoked. You know how much I paid for this? $60. So rad. Man, if I had known back then, I would have grabbed up so many more pages. And then this is the 1 page I actually inked of Carlos Pacheco. So I have 2 Carlos Pacheco pages. 1 I inked, and so I got the art returns on it. And then obviously the other one I didn't. But it did get a little bit of warped in the weather out there. So that is sad. Now, what you have all been waiting for, I'm sure. The explanation. The explanation. All right, let me get to the actual images here. Notifications in my wine. YouTube is sucking nuts right now. All right. Share screen. Application window. So you all, may have seen this on Twitter. This was drawn. The date, which you can't see because I'd have to zoom in on it. I don't know. Can I zoom in on it? All right. So I don't know if you can make that out. It's 791. 791. So I drew this when I was 19 years old. And then 91, 92. Gosh, I can't believe I drew this in 91. Was I just sitting on it for that long? Because I saw in 93, I saw Jim Lee at WonderCon. And so I walked up, because I had already been working at Malibu for a year. I started working at Malibu in 92. And so I had a professional badge, which to me meant I could go wherever I wanted to. An arrogant little Mike Miller walks up to the image table where there was a line a quarter-mile long, all the way down the convention center of people waiting, because it was like, let's see, if I remember, Jim was in front of me, Rob Liefeld was on my right, so his left. And then I think Silvestri was on my left, his right, and then Todd McFarlane. They were all there, right? They were all there. And so I walk up to Jim, and it wasn't this one. It was this one, but inked. My friend Matt Osborne inked it with a marker. So I showed it to him. I just threw it down in front of his face, and I thought, hey, Jim, I thought you might like to see this. And he looks at it, and he's like, this, was good. He's like, you drew this? I'm like, yeah. He's like, and I said, my friend Matt inked it, and and he grabs one of his posters, and he writes his personal phone number on it, and writes Jim Lee phone number, and he gives it to me, and he's like, give me a call, and blah blah blah. And so I was like all stoked, right? So I go back to my table, and then I grab this photocopy of the original pencils, and I walk back up to him, and I think, oh, I thought you might like to see just the pencils. And so he holds this in his hand, and I remember, and Rob Liefeld's looking over his shoulder, and he looks up to me and he says, "Where do you live?" And I'm like, "San Jose." And he's all, "How would you like to live in San Diego? Or how would you like to move to San Diego?" I'm like, "What?" and so he offered me the work. I was like the talk of the convention. I had met Moose Bauman the year before, and so I was talking to him there, and they were like, he and Matt Haley, two of the oldest guys I've ever met in the comic book industry. They were talking about, they're like, yeah, so Jim Lee just hired some guy, like out of the blue, like right on the spot. I'm like, yeah, that was me. And then later that night, I saw Jim at the bar, and he was there talking to Jeff Johnson. And I walked up, and I knew Jeff. I had met Jeff like a couple weeks before at a local Bay Area comic book club meeting. And I went to talk to Jim, and I'm like, so Jim, do you want me like, show you my portfolio or anything like that? And he's like, Mike, listen to me. You have the job. And I remember this verbatim, right? Because I was a 20-year-old kid, and Jim Lee was like the biggest name in comics. And he's like, you have the job. I'm going to fly you down to San Diego. I'm going to set you up an apartment in La Jolla. We're going to throw some money in your bank account, and we're going to put you to work. And I'm like, wow. And Jeff Johnson was standing right there. So if anybody wants to ask him, I'm sure he remembers. Flummoxed. So the next day at the con, he tells me to go over to the image table and grab a copy of Stormwatch. Tell them Jim sent me, or whatever, to give me a. And he's like, I want you to do a Stormwatch pinup. I'm like, okay. I'm like, but he's I can't remember. We were talking about like me coming down, and he's like, I was like, but I'm leaving for Japan like this, in a few days. I had to go. That was the last time I went to Japan. I was 21. Oh yeah, so I was 21. I was 21. Was I 21? 1993. I would have turned 22. Yeah, so I was 21. And so I drew and sent in before I went to Japan this, which was Stormwatch, based off of, I believe Trevor Scott was drawing Stormwatch, if I remember correctly. And so I send this in, and which honestly, this was like a year and a half after. So I still looking at both of these pieces, I think this is technically the better piece. Even with 20-something years of experience behind me, I still think this is the better piece. But the original drawing, I had drawn what's his face, the guy with the guns, and I didn't draw him with a bucket head, Scott Clark. And so I'm talking to Jim, and he's like, well, people like bucket heads. We like bucket heads here. I'm like, what the heck is a bucket head? And he's like, well, that's when the muscles on the back of the head, just go straight up to the back of the head. And I'm like, well, that's not realistic. And he's like, yeah, well, regardless if it's realistic, you know, that's the style we're going for here. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I redrew it with the bucket head, and I sent it in. I went on vacation to Japan, all excited that I was going to come back to America and move down to La Jolla, and Jim was going to throw money in my bank account, set me up in an apartment, and do all the things he had promised for me. And he wouldn't take my phone calls. I got back, and he wouldn't take my phone calls. And I kept trying to get in touch with him, and I finally got a hold of his secretary or whatever, and she's like, yeah, Jim said we're going to hold off on moving you down. And I'm like, what? Why? And she's like, I don't know. He just said to hold off. I'm like, okay. So he never got back to me. Yeah, he ghosted on me. He never got back to me. I ended up moving down to San Diego by myself after San Diego Comic-Con that year because I came down. I saw Jill after 5 years of not, well, I hadn't seen her for a couple of years, and then I told her I was coming down for the con, and she's like, oh, I live in San Diego. So we got together like for one night. We went out, you know, dancing and you know, just hanging out. And before she left for the night, I was like, hey, if I move down here, are you going to go out with me? She's like, I don't know, maybe. And so that, and the fact that some of the guys at Salem Studios asked me if I wanted to come down and join the studio. So I was like, I was going to join a studio. I was going to come down, and I was going to try to get together with Jill, who I was, you know, had been madly in love with at summer camp 5 years earlier. So I made my way down to San Diego on my own. And then I started, you know, talking to, I think it was Brandon Choi. I finally got a hold of Brandon Choi at Wildstorm, and I'm like, so do you know why Jim, you know, didn't have me join the studio? And he's like, kind of like hemming and hawing, and I'm like, was it because the second piece I sent didn't look like Jim? Because if you look at the first piece, it clearly looks far more inspired by Jim, right? And then the second piece, not as much. And he said straight up, yeah. He's like, yeah, it's because it didn't look like Jim. Now, whatever. I ain't mad because I don't get upset. I was upset at the time. I was a kid. So, but now I'm like, hey man, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't, you know, so you step on one butterfly and you change the whole story arc of your life. And I wouldn't risk that. Granted, the class, the quote unquote class that I would have been in would have been the J. Scott Campbell, Ryan Benjamin, I think, Matt Broom, possibly class. Hey, Edwin, I was about to wrap this up and jump onto Ethan's.
Yeah, I was just going to tell you he was starting it up.
Oh man, my speakers aren't hooked up. What did Elijah do?
What's that?
Oh wait. Okay, say something, Edwin.
Can you hear me now? Am I being all robotic again?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Oh, all right.
But yeah, that's the end of that story. I ended up going into Wildstorm and started to get work from Wildstorm. So, but I never officially, you know, had an office in there or anything like that. I was tangentially Wildstorm. A lot of people in there thought I was Wildstorm. It's like being Comicscape. But yeah, I was in there all the time because, you know, it was just a 20-minute drive. I would go pick up work and drop off work and stuff. So that's my tale of all the stuff I found in storage today.
Nice. It's a good looking page.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right. So you wanna bump over with the cool kids?
Well, I don't know. Has he sent out the link? I know how sometimes he'll just run his thing for a while. Oh no, he dropped the link in. Yeah, so I'm gonna jump over there. How about you?
Yeah, sounds cool.
All right, brother. Well, thanks everybody, including Edwin, for coming by. Hope you enjoyed the cornucopia of artwork and whatnot. So I'll be moving over to Edwin's stream, or not Edwin, Ethan's stream. So join us over there, peeps. Peace out.